This is the Trenchless Technology Podcast with your host, Sharon Bueno, Managing Editor of Trenchless Technology Magazine. Welcome to the Trenchless Technology Podcast. This episode of the podcast is sponsored by Westlake Pipe and Fittings. Westlake Pipe and Fittings is a leading polyvinyl chloride pipe and fittings manufacturer in North America that provides holistic solutions that move our most precious resource, water. The Houston, Texas headquartered company serves several markets, including municipal water and sewer, and the residential and commercial plumbing markets. Today I'm talking with its National Manager for Specification Engineering, Keith Moggach, who shares his expertise about Westlake Pipe and Fittings and its primary trenchless product, Certa-Lok PVC pipe. Keith explains which trenchless applications best suit the use of PVC and fills us in on the background of the Certa-Lok product. There's a lot to get to, so let's get started. Here's my conversation with Keith Moggach. Welcome, Keith, and thank you for joining me on the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Sharon.
We're just going to dive right in. First off, tell us a little bit about Westlake Pipe and Fittings. Kind of share the company history, where you're located, and the products and markets you serve.
Westlake Pipe and Fittings, we're an integrated North American producer of PVC pipe and fittings. We have 13 manufacturing locations strategically placed across North America, as well as strategically located distribution centers, a dedicated factory sales team, a dedicated technical services team, as well as a specification engineering team that focuses on customer support to help contractors, engineers, distributors, and municipalities specify, design, and install our PVC products. We make PVC pipe and fittings for the following markets: municipal water and sewer, your deep underground utilities, residential and commercial plumbing and industrial products, a full line of water well pipe and accessories to take water out of the ground, a line of specialty food irrigation products that is primarily utilized in high-value crops in California, as well as turf and golf course irrigation products. We manufacture a line of pool and spa fittings and pipe, as well as electrical and telecommunications, which includes HDD applications in the electrical telecommunication markets. We're headquartered out of Houston, Texas, and we're part of the larger Westlake Corporation. Being part of this larger Westlake family helps us, as it allows us to be involved in a vertically integrated company where we have the expertise to manufacture our own raw materials and the building blocks and the ability to innovate in the PVC space.
What are some of Westlake's primary trenchless products?
Westlake's primary trenchless products fall under the Certa-Lok family of products. Certa-Lok is a spline locking restraint joint system, or segmental pipe system, which is locked together with a spline system. So we make Certa-Lok RJ and RJB, which are primarily used in the municipal water distribution, water transmission, reclaimed water, and force main markets. Recently, the integral bell version of RJB size range has been expanding, and we're now producing this through 18-inch diameters. The RJ, or coupled version, is available in 4-inch through 24-inch diameters. In smaller sizes, we use a PVC coupling material, but above 12-inch, we switch to a fiberglass composite material, which allows us to make a very low-profile coupling, which is excellent for municipal trenchless applications. For example, on 24-inch DR18 Certa-Lok RJ, the coupling is less than 1 inch thick. We also make the larger products in 40-foot lengths, so there are less couplings to be used, limiting the drag in a trenchless application. Still within the Certa-Lok family of products, we make an electrical trenchless conduit under the Certa-Com trade name, and we make a trenchless gravity sewer product under the Certa-Flow trade name.
Well, today we're here to talk about and learn about the Certa-Lok PVC products. So share with us a little bit about the history and background of that particular product line.
Certa-Lok itself was developed not long after PVC was introduced to the North American market and has an over 50-year use history in the United States. The first PVC pipe plant built in the U.S. in McPherson, Kansas, which is now part of the Westlake plant production family and is still in operation, is where Certa-Lok was developed. Originally, it was developed with our yellow mine formulation. This was developed for the mining industry, not as a trenchless product, but as to carry water in above ground applications where the pipe needed to be restrained. The yellow mine product is unique in that it is specially formulated to be used in above ground applications where you have to deal with UV impact or UV degradation of the pipe as well as impact. So it's specially formulated to have increased strength properties as well as enhanced UV resistance compared to a standard C900 water main product. We actually still market Yellowmine. It's used for bridge crossings, temporary water mains, and in the ag irrigation industry under our CertaSet brand name. In the 1980s, we expanded the Certalock product offering into the water well casing and municipal water and sewer markets. And in the 1990s, we expanded into the ag market. It was during this time that HDD was started to get used for more municipal water installations, and Certalock seemed like a natural fit for this application. It was actually a contractor that came to us and said, "Hey guys, come out to a job site. We're about to drill this under a river." And it was driven by how successful that was for us to do a bunch of extra research and R&D to figure out, okay, can we actually use it for this application? And it turned out it really could. In the 2000s, we introduced the RJIB version, or the restrained joint integral bell, which got rid of the coupling and made for a smoother bell transition. And we also introduced the Certicom product for electrical HD installations around the same time.
Now, how are these PVC products used in trenchless applications, such as HDD, horizontal directional drilling, as you said, as well as static pipe bursting, and what makes them beneficial for these applications?
Certalock can be used in a variety of trenchless applications. An older technology that's still extensively used is auger boring a casing into the ground and pushing or pulling a carrier pipe through it. Certalock is excellent for this, as unlike other PVC restrained joint options, it's designed to be pushed and pulled. The joint gives it resistance to both compressive and tensile forces. Also, because it has a smaller bellowed than standard C900 pipe and doesn't require the use of external metallic restraints, it allows designers and contractors to downsize the size of the casing that they need to auger in place in order to install the same size of carrier pipe. Certalock excels in pipe bursting applications as well, for both static sewer bursting with CertaFlow and static waterline bursting with Certalock. Most pipe bursting is taking place in developed areas where there is a desire to limit the job site footprint, limit disruption to businesses and residents, and limit the amount of surface restoration that is required. As Certalock is installed via the cartridge-style loading method, that is, the contractor isn't required to fuse long strings of pipe together, Certalock can be assembled in the pit as the pipe bursting operation is proceeding. This ability to install the pipe in the pit is a huge benefit in congested areas where most pipe bursting takes place. This gets rid of the need to have excess traffic control headaches by blocking off intersections, and it eliminates the need to string long lengths of fused pipe across roads, which is a great benefit when you're trying to do pipe bursting in a congested area. The HDD advantages are similar to pipe bursting in that using Certalock reduces the job site footprint required for the HDD product. Using Certalock also provides the contractor greater flexibility over using fused product. Assembling Certalock is independent of weather conditions. There's no need to worry about building shelters if it's too cold or too windy or too rainy in order to keep on fusing pipe together. You can install Certalock independent of those weather conditions. And the drilling contractor doesn't need to hire fusion crews and worry about them impacting their schedule. Certalock can be put together by the HDD crew or the general contractor without any special equipment, any special training, or expensive third-party certified fusion crews, or the need to run extra power to the job site. All in all, in my opinion, Certalock should be considered whenever an engineer or municipality is looking to install water mains, sewer lines, or electrical wiring by HDD, pipe bursting, or as a carrier pipe inside of the casing. In the past, we've even used Certalock as a casing pipe, inside of which we pulled CertaFlow through as a carrier pipe, where the municipal jurisdiction required the casing.
Tell us a little bit about the differences between the Certalock 900 RJIB and the 900 RJ pipes.
Both of these are AWWA C900 based PVC products. The C900 Certalock RJ was the original PVC restrained joint product. It used a machined PVC coupling to make the connection between two spigot ends of the pipe. When originally launched, the coupling was made from a very thick piece of PVC that was custom machined to have matching grooves in the coupling and the spigot that allowed an engineered nylon splines to be inserted into these matching grooves to make the restrained joint. As we expanded the size range, we moved to a fiberglass composite couplings in the larger sizes in order to reduce the OD of the coupling and make it better suited for trenchless applications. Around 2010, we found a means of eliminating this coupling from the smaller sizes of Certalock. We called this the RJIB, or Restrained Joint Integral Bell version of the product. By eliminating the PVC coupling, we were able to decrease the max bell OD of the product and create a much smoother bell transition. If anyone's ever seen an older version of, say, 10-inch Certalock or Coverlock, if you're from Canada, because that's what it was called there, coupling, you'll remember that it had a square edge to it. This square edge often had drillers concerned when they first looked at it. But as we moved to the RJIB product, we eliminated the square edge, which helped lower the drag forces in HDD and pipe bursting applications. It also made the overall max bell OD smaller as well. While doing this, we also managed to increase the tensile strength of the joint, which means it could be pulled further or pulled harder than the coupled version. Also, needing only one spline rather than two with a coupled product made the RJIB version faster to assemble in the pit while doing segmental assembly of the joint.
Now it's time to look into the crystal ball a bit. Trenchless technology is obviously an important market for Westlake. Can you share a little bit about what the future holds for Westlake Pipe and Fittings and its Certalock line within the trenchless sector?
Sure. This one is a bit tricky to answer. There's plenty of things in our R&D department right now in development, but I'm not at liberty to discuss all of them. Westlake itself is a great company to work for. Westlake believes in investing in its plants, its people, and in product innovation. Right now, we are continuing to expand the product line. As I mentioned earlier, as of December 1st, you can now place orders for 18-inch Certalock RJIB, which is the largest size we've ever made that in. As a company, we're a strong believer and a longtime supporter of the trenchless market, and we are always looking to innovate new products which will help give PVC a foothold in that market and give designers and installers the ability to continue using PVC, which is by far the most preferred water main product in North America in trenchless applications.
That's a wrap on this episode of the Trenchless Technology Podcast. My thanks to Keith Moggach as well as Westlake Pipe and Fittings, which sponsored this podcast. For the latest trenchless news, visit trenchlesstechnology.com.
Thank you for having me, Sharon.
This has been a Trenchless Technology Podcast. To hear more of my conversations about the trenchless industry, go to trenchlesstechnology.com/podcast.